What is going on YouTube? This is Mike from The Last Corvette. So, I love comments. That's what it's all about. YouTube platform, social media, for me, it's about making videos, how-to videos, do-it-yourself videos, and just basically spreading the knowledge of either my experience, your experience, or whatever. So, I'm sorry that I haven't put out much content. I've been super busy this summer. We had a baby, which obviously I knew about. That's why I stopped the engine build portion of the build, because lead times and just time constraints basically. And I retuned the vehicle on ethanol and everything else that I did to the fuel system, and I'm enjoying it now. But I do have projects coming up in the works. The side mirrors still have to come off. I'm gonna wait till after the Dream Cruise. I have brand new skins that I'll be putting on the C6 driver's side and passenger side. My passenger side seat is in mint condition. My driver's side seat just shows your normal wear and tear of this leather. So no holes or nothing like that, but it's your normal wear. So I'll make a video on that. There are a bunch of videos, well, at least one good video, I think by Leather Skins or Leather Seats company, that pretty much breaks down this whole C6 seat piece by piece, and it's a really, really good video that I watched. Because, well, guess what? That's why we watch these videos, because we don't know it all. Unless you do it on daily basis or do it for a living, you won't know. And you can have some costly repairs if you don't know how to properly take something apart or fix it. So, going back to my unfinished business with the C6, like I said, I'll start making content. We also have heads and cam going back onto the vehicle, but that's more to come. So, comments that were recently left. Let's start with kind of killing two birds with one stone. So the first one was a video that I did on my cold air intake, the Snake Charmer. Basically very popular cold air intake on LS2s, LS3s, some LS7s, but mainly LS3s. Person asks, what about like water issues, water problems, water getting in? Well, so the top of the intake is just like any airbox, no issues. Now, of course, you have that big snake or the big S, and the main scoop lives right under the front bumper lip, basically in line with your fog lights on the C6. So you can kind of be a judge of how much water you can go through, normally probably 2-3 inches, and that's it. And you will ingest water into your engine. But under normal conditions, you have a media filter just like K&N, just has green paper inside, or elements, versus red, like ruby red or whatever. So I use K&N cleaning products and K&N oil to service it. I service it once a year because I only drive it half of the year. I live in Michigan, and it works just fine. Very popular cold air intake, a true cold air setup in my eyes, and I don't have any issues with it. But driving it on regular roads, dusty roads, dirty roads, right? Whatever your commute is, whatever you do, obviously the filter comes into play. You got to have a good service filter that catches everything, all the media, and stops it from going into your intake. Now, when it comes to heavy rain, I've been in heavy rain in that C6. Gravity sometimes works for you, sometimes it works against you, but the residual water will drip out, especially when you stop. And, you know, it's still a pretty long run to get into, through the throttle body blades into your intake manifold. But on top of it, that's why it's important to run a oil water separator, or as we call it, an oil catch can, which I installed. Not only do you keep the oil out, the blow-by, for the PCV system, but also some of the water, residual water. But never had an issue driving it through heavy rains. Now, of course, you have to be a judge. Like I said, 2-3 inches. If you're driving and you see a deep puddle, go around it. Don't go through it, because now you're running a risk of actually sucking water in. Hydrolocking your motor if you're freaking trying to use this vehicle as a boat, or at least getting water through your engine, and then through your engine and then into your oil pan, and mixing water with oil, which is not good. And if that happens, you have to dump the oil and do a couple of flushes right away. But overall, a huge thumbs up to the Snake Charmer Veram. If you look at the reviews, it's a really, really nice setup. It does give you a true cold air intake. Sure beats the stock airbox that you find on C6s, even C5, C6s, C7s. It's very restricted, even on like the ZR1s. So the second one is very simple. I've made a lot of videos on it. I think I have really good content. Somebody just said that they're having this leak on the driver's side, probably a fuel related issue. Well, let me tell you something. If you actually see a visible leak, especially if you run the vehicle on the driver's side fuel tank where your fuel pump lives, more than likely your high pressure elbow is toast, just like it was in my case. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. There's no way you can test it. There's no way you can see it, look at it, sniff it. Well, you can sniff it, but you can't get to it. You got to drop the tank out. You can look through all my videos. It's a doable project for sure. If you have basic tools, basic knowledge, it's a lot of work, especially disassembly is not as intense as reassembly when you're trying to put everything together. But you know, having longer arms helps, having a lift helps. Also look at my setup, look at all my videos that I put out of how my vehicle was set up. But the question was this: is it true that you have to remove the diff, the transmission, basically the rear cradle out of the vehicle to do it? No, I did it with a couple of things removed. I did it with my basically my axle back exhaust just on the driver's side removed. So I removed the muffler, I removed the crossover pipe, not the crossover pipe, but the crossover or the bridge pipe for your axle bag that goes over the suspension and goes into the X pipe. That's the only thing that I removed, and I was able to get at all the components needed to drop the tank. The fuel lines, the crossover pipe, and then obviously the PCV system as well. Like I said, really good content out there. Just look through it. More than likely, if it's a fuel issue, especially when you're full, you're smelling fuel, you're seeing fuel, it is the fuel pump, high pressure elbow, unfortunately. The only time you would see a drip, and it would be coming right from the fill cap area under the inner wheel liner, is when you overfill your C6. Other than that, unfortunately, it's a problem either at the crossover pipe, but if you're seeing it on the tank, it's the high pressure elbow. But here is the $1 million question. Can you do it with a 6-speed manual without dropping anything? Yeah. Can you do it with a 4-speed automatic? Yep. Can you do it with a 6-speed automatic? Yeah, that's what I have. I have a 6-speed automatic. And yes, the 6-speed automatic is a little beefier. It's wider compared to like a manual transmission. You got even more room, but it's absolutely doable. Just take your time, set up your vehicle, comment below, and whatever I can, I will try to help you guys out. And anyway, stay tuned, more projects to come. Talk to you guys later.